Hello and Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to another episode of Raw and Real with Samia. Today is an exciting day for me because I have a guest. And you all know that when मेरे साथ कोई guest होता है, I prefer that, believe it or not, much more than having a monologue because I feel it's fun to have a conversation and to have someone to talk to reflect back and just maybe have someone agree, disagree. I don't know. Where is this conversation going to go? I'm not really sure. But I know one thing, कि जैसा कि मैंने आपसे कहा है कि my podcast is about sharing stories. These could be all various stories, it's from success to tragedy to love to God knows. We all have our share of stories. And only when I sit for my podcast is when I start getting these phone calls. I don't know if it's me or if it's my guest. But anyways, so we're going to go ahead and share a story of this gentleman. जिनको वैसे तो उनका एक नाम है, but he likes to refer to himself as Batman. So help me welcome none other than Mr. Cruize, aka Batman. Yay!
Hey.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
I am doing well. Are you a little conscious? Why are you a little like?
I'm trying to hear my voice.
Oh, okay.
So it's okay. I get it. It's good.
You're okay with the headphones?
I'm good with the headphones.
Okay, all right. I think he just thinks he looks cool with the headphones. I think
do.
so, yeah.
I do. I feel like a DJ.
All right then. Says the man who knows all the DJs and his best friend is a DJ. Or so I think he's the best friend. I don't know.
Oh, he is. Good guy.
Well, Cruize, let's do this. We're going to start with a shout out to our very favorite Bismillah restaurant. Even though it's not complimentary, but we love Bismillah family so much. So thank you for the chai.
I got mine.
Yeah, there you go.
Labeled
You see?
Batman.
Labeled Batman. Apparently he drinks a special chai from there. Like, and आज there was no time. Don't ask. आज का जो start हुआ है ना हमारा, oof, you know the day I think I'm gonna be on time. I'm telling you, it's not me. There's a serious problem that I can never be on time for some odd reason. As much as I try. Left home 1:30. I was supposed to be there at 2 o'clock. I did get there 2 o'clock, but my meeting did not end on time. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and move on. This is what the podcast is all about.
That's good.
Cruize is like, if you're going to talk yourself, why am I sitting here? मैं क्यों बैठा हूँ यहाँ पर? All right, so let me go ahead and introduce you. Cruize is a health and wellness consultant.
Yeah, I have a health and wellness marketing consulting company.
Marketing consulting company.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what he does for a living. But we do see him at the gym all the time. So I really don't know about that part. We do see him dressed as Batman and going around town and making children happy. So I'm not sure really when does he go to work. And that's why we're going to go ahead and talk to him because I feel that he inspires many people in many ways. And just to get to know a member of our community who's so inspiring and so motivational a little bit better. So, Cruize, क्या हाल है?
I'd speak in Urdu, but I honestly only started learning Urdu when I moved to Houston. So I was born in Africa in Zambia. So over there, we're Memon family. Grew up speaking Memon. A lot of our friends were Gujarati. So we never really had the opportunity to do Urdu. The closest I get is like watching Hindi movies.
Yes.
So growing up, I was a huge Sholay fan.
Okay.
तो जब मैं उर्दू में बोलता हूँ मेरी there you go, see? सबको बीमार आता है जब सुनता है मुझको.
बीमार आता नहीं. What is सबको बीमार आता है?
They get sick. They like look at me like, what the hell is this guy saying? So, but I have been practicing a lot.
Do you speak Gujarati?
Mara Gujarati to, it comes and goes. Like when I'm around the right people, then it just flows. My Memon's good, but it's really fast.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Like Memon, like.
Kachi Memon.
Okay, you're Kachi Memon. Okay.
To jade am bole to I don't know. It just
no, say it. I'm sure your people who are gonna watch this and listen to it will love it.
Jade am bole to some no, it's just got mixed up right now. I'm sorry. But I do also speak an African language, in Nyanja, which just doesn't ever come
in Nyanja?
up. Yeah. It's from Zambia.
Okay.
So it never comes up here. I do understand a bit of Afrikaans from South Africa. So, yeah, so it's a few different things. Yeah.
I learned something new today because I thought in Africa they just spoke Swahili.
No. It's like there's a lot of different dialects there, and then there's a colloquial part of it. So growing up, like I grew up in Zambia for middle school. I went to London for my elementary school.
Okay.
And sorry, my middle school was in London, elementary was in Zambia, and then high school was in Zimbabwe, where more languages. There was Ndebele and Shona. So that was also completely different. And then I moved to South Africa for college. And that's where, Afrikaans was. And also I went there during a really bad time because apartheid was still part of the culture.
Okay.
It was, even though it ended in 93, there was still a lot of different racial problems going on and things like that. So, grew up in very different times. And I moved to Houston in 2000.
In 2000,
yeah.
Okay.
So, it's
been 2 years before me. I moved in 2002.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I moved here thinking I would move out of Houston and this would be a base because
we all do that, don't we?
And then we come here and we're like, wow, this is actually...
It just grows on you.
Yeah, I know.
It grows on you. I moved from New York and I was like, there's no way I'm staying in this city at all. I'm going to move out of here.
Yeah.
It's 2023 now.
I know. No, I mean, it's home. I've actually lived in Houston longer than I've lived anywhere else in my life.
Yeah.
So it's definitely home for me. And I love it. So I'm a Houstonian.
Nice. Yeah. So am I. But see, this is why we need to meet different people. This is why I wanted to have him on the podcast, because there you go. I learned something new, not just about him, but just in general about the African languages, which I really wasn't even aware of, quite honestly. And I don't feel any shame in admitting things that I don't know of, because I feel if you're going to pretend like you know everything, what's there to learn? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, okay. So now that we know that, how did you get into this health and wellness?
So a few years back, I want to say about 17 years ago, a few people, we started a medical facility.
Okay.
And my role was to basically kind of manage patients. But what ended up happening is that I ended up becoming more of a business development liaison. And in that time, I started meeting doctors and understanding that they're really good at taking care of patients. And I love that. I really respect what they do. However, it was really hard for them to kind of network their brand or kind of go out there and market who they were and try to generate more business for themselves. So the best thing that I could do at that time was go out there and then start to try to get them into a position where I knew what the objective was, but to take them now to go to the next level and say, look, let's go network with doctors. Let's go meet different people. Let's figure out ways on how to generate business towards your practice.
Right.
And then that started like just snowballing, one thing after the other. And then it became more of a niche. And then my brand started growing with a lot of these offices because they would then equally start telling their friends. Like, if you had a good meal, you're going to obviously tell your close friends about that.
Of course.
And then more of that started happening. And then, it just kind of evolved into, I want to say, into a great profession where now I'm able to now help doctors or any kind of medical experts or medical facilities build their own ecosystems. And that's how I try to claim to work with them. I want to build an ecosystem around you where it's sustainable. We can start generating patients. We can build your brand. We can go out there and also inside your office, we can teach your staff how to upsell you or how to just keep things flowing to the point where you do really well. And in a way, COVID kind of slowed everything down,
right?
But built everything in the background because now a lot more doctors realize that they need help. Because, the flow had changed. A lot of the big hospitals were now seeing more and more patients.
Yeah.
More and more people were getting scared. It was a very, very crazy period in the medical arena. And even during that time, I had a lot of my doctors, these guys are like mom and pops, independent doctors. These are the kind of doctors that still get pies from their patients to thank them. They were really hurting because they didn't even have safety equipment because a lot of it was going to the hospitals. Or the bigger places. Yeah. I had one doctor.
So their business was basically suffering.
Oh,
the doctors,
it was really suffering.
And if I sorry to interrupt, but what field of the doctors? Was it mostly internal medicine, some specialists?
It was all across the board.
Okay.
From your primary cares, all the way even up to specialists.
Okay.
So even spine surgeons, they were like really feeling it. And then I went out. I remember we also talked when COVID happened. You helped us. We did a radio segment with you where we were trying to find staff who were let go because of COVID. We were trying to staff them into other positions. And then we were trying to also help with the medical equipment, PPE, all the protective equipment. We had doctors wearing plastic bottles to cover their faces when they're seeing patients.
Yeah.
I mean, this is how bad it got.
It was bad,
And then, but again, I'm very consistent. I'm very disciplined with what I do. So I still made sure I was taking care of my people and trying to still let them know, like a Swiss Army knife, I'm there. You know, whatever you need, let me know. I'll go out there and I'll figure it out. So from masks to gloves to testing kits, I was able to now contact a lot of different people and make it accessible to these doctors and still have them run their businesses and, get staffing and all that involved.
And that's how you transitioned into the...
So more now, I've become more of an independent company with Cruize Control.
Okay.
Cruize Control Health is 3 value propositions. We do doctor-to-doctor marketing, facility-to-doctor marketing, and we also help with the personal injuries sphere.
Okay.
We help clients get to the right medical, right medical arena or right medical choices that they need, from emergency rooms to physical therapy. And we manage this to a sense that because now we have this network of doctors, we have this network of emergency rooms.
Right.
It's easy for us to then just channel these clients in. No wait time, they get their treatment done. We're able to generate the reports, and it's just an easier flow than what it used to be.
Yeah.
And we just like the fact that we're helping people. That's one of the philosophies that I really love about everything I do. Even in the back of my mind, I know that I've helped someone throughout my day.
Yeah.
Something small or even something big. And that makes
And I guess I'm assuming that it is this spirit of yours that makes you feel you're Batman?
No.
It's your obsession. But okay, well, we're going to come to Batman. We're going to come to Batman. But right now, okay. So from what you're telling me, and I'm assuming that also, I'm making a lot of assumptions here, but that's why we have him here to clarify things. That this is probably how you then also got so involved with taking care of your health. Basically being at the gym like every day, like all day. This is what it seems like. That's what you're doing. So
I mean, you're completely right. I mean, if I'm in the field of health and wellness, you've got to practice what you preach.
Yeah.
I'm out there meeting doctors every day, talking about health. The main thing that's really inspires me in these conversations, these are great physicians, male, everybody. They talk about, preventative methods.
Right.
And one of the biggest preventative methods that I love is not only, working out or just being healthy, eating healthy, the simple things that you do in a day that can help you and promote a healthy lifestyle. And I'm hoping that what I do, how I share it through my Instagram or through my conversations, it inspires people to say, you know what, if he can do it, I can do it.
No, it does. Yeah. No, absolutely. And I'm sure it does. I mean, if I can sometimes, how many times have I messaged you and been I hate you. It's like, all right, I'm about to have a fry. And then you're sitting on your Instagram, just scrolling. And then you see Cruize's story and you're like, okay, throw away this fries. Okay, there he is. Yeah, I hate you for that. That's it is inspiring. And that's one of the reasons why you're sitting here. But coming back to... is that your alter ego? Is that your childhood dream? What is this obsession with? I mean, don't take me wrong. Batman's my favorite hero. I think he's hot. He's sexy. I think he looks good. I love the black. There's Batmobile. I mean, I'm a Batman person and not a Superman person.
Sorry, Scoop.
I was just gonna say, sorry, Scoop. You're gonna hate me for saying that too. But yeah, I mean, just the costume, man. The red and the blue. It's just. I'm sorry. It's. Ew, it's cheesy.
It is.
Sorry, Batman, and then black is my favorite color.
There you go.
So what's this obsession with Batman?
So, I mean, the people who know me know this very well, but when I was in boarding school, I was in a predominantly white and black boarding school in Zimbabwe. It was all boys. It was like a military type boarding school. It was out in the bush. It was secluded.
Okay.
I was bullied a lot. I was a skinny brown boy.
Okay.
I came from England, so I had an English accent. Everybody just despised me. So it was really rough, and I remember I just hated it. I hated being a stressed out 11-year-old boy.
Yeah.
And in that time, there was a comic book floating around campus. It was a Batman comic book. The movie was coming out. It was a big deal in 1989. And I remember reading it, and I saw that how this person took a negative and made it a positive.
Yeah.
So I started feeding into that and saying, you know what, I can do this. So when everybody was sleeping, I would do push-ups to build myself up. I started reading more at night. I started, training more. And, just the simple things I did, if you can't beat them, join them. So I started learning how to play rugby. I started learning how to play like soccer and football. So either way, I wanted to show them that I'm not scared and I could be my own hero.
Yeah.
So that really pushed me to say that, I want to be my own hero, but not only that, I want to protect people because that, in essence, that's what Batman does. He protects the weak.
Yeah.
So I didn't want that cycle of bullying to continue. And then I told myself that if I ever am in a position, I want to be Batman for any kid, and I want to let them know that you can't let anything break you. You've got to keep on pushing. You've got to you find your inner hero. You find that piece of you that will make you stronger no matter what it takes. It's inside you, but just find it and go with it. And
were you able to stop that bullying?
I was.
Okay.
And then just through these little things, it's not going to happen overnight, like anything. But all these small things that I did, everyone could see that I was getting braver. I was becoming stronger. I was more confident.
Nice.
And I knew that I could beat them with just confidence because, to me, a bully is a coward.
Yeah.
It's
true.
And even in my it's the philosophy I carry in my business sense too. I'll be in a room with a very loud spoken person who is a narcissist and wants to just make me feel small in that room.
Just overshadow you by being loud and all of that. Yeah.
So at that point, I know you're a bully, but I'm gonna now work things my way, and I'm gonna let you have your voice and make your noise and everything like that, and walk out. But I'm gonna actually do what I set out to do, and I'm gonna make sure I finish what I started. You're not gonna get in my way.
Yeah.
And it's sad because I see this happen a lot to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Even now, like I dress up and I go to see children in hospitals because I want them to know that they can be their own hero and just to keep on fighting. And it's been a great experience for me and my friends too. We don't want to deal with money. We just want to go there, be with the children. If we can donate books and toys, we will. We'll try and help the families out because sometimes these families, they're in like the waiting rooms for 3 months.
Yeah.
And that's like so much money spent on parking and things like that. So we'll try and help them that way.
How does it feel, Cruize, like when you walk into a room of children at these hospitals and when they see Batman like coming to them and saying hello, like what's that like? I'm getting goosebumps just like asking you that. How does it feel?
It's actually the scariest feeling, and I always remember this. Like I'm in a 40-pound leather suit. And I'm standing there, I'm sweating, and we went into Texas Children's, and there was this little girl. She was in a wheelchair. She got up and ran towards me, and I was like, oh my God, she's coming. She hugged me, and I was shaking. And then and I looked over, her mom is crying, and I couldn't figure it out. So the nurse helped me put her down, talked to her for a while, and she was telling me how Batman's a hero and everything. Same thing like you said, she loves Batman.
Yeah.
Then I went to go speak to the mom, and the mom told me that she's never seen her daughter stand up in 3 months. And that's why she was crying.
Oh my God. I literally have goosebumps right now. And like literally.
She's such a beautiful girl. I mean, she was just beautiful. Her eyes were so friendly. I have a picture of her still. And but that's the feeling. I mean, nothing can take. And
you must consider yourself so blessed to be able to do that.
Oh, I mean, I am. I think anybody who can do something good for someone who needs it is blessed.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
You know what? A lot of times people, I genuinely feel that people don't understand the power of making someone smile or feel good.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that, no, I ain't no Batman or a superhero like that. But just the thought of if someone comes up to me, and this is no comparison or anything, we're just, talking here.
Yeah.
But, if someone's ever come up to me and said, oh, they were listening to my radio show, and just because I played a certain song or I said something, or maybe when I'm teaching or anything, just the fact to see people smile or make a difference in their day, you feel like, yes, there is a purpose in life for you.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
not boring. Like a lot of people, I don't understand this, where they live a life of just being born. Okay, you're growing up, go to school, get good grades, get a nice job, get married, have children, and die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, okay, in between, yeah, get yourself a nice house, a nice car. And I'm not saying none of those things are important. They're all important. It's a process of, you living in a society.
Yeah.
But that thought of like, hey, can I do something for someone, even if it's just smiling, if it's just something, making them happy. Isn't that like such a great feeling?
I a lot of credit to my mom. I mean, she always used to say a little goes a long way.
Yeah.
And it really does. Yeah. I mean, so I try to incorporate that like just in my lifestyle. If I can do something good every day for someone,
yeah,
even something as silly as opening a door for someone holding so much stuff, that's fine.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes. I feel like, sadly, I think we've become very closed. I think that especially after COVID, I think a lot of people have become, just shut off.
Yeah.
They don't want to look up at you. They're on their screens, or it's just hard for them to kind of do anything nice. No nice gestures. And it's just really sad because I see that every day, and it becomes that part where you have to be brave to be kind.
True. And you see a lot of these like crazy videos nowadays where people are just angry and frustrated, and there are all these sorts of violence that's going on, and like over trivial matters. People are like killing each other, hitting each other, and you're like, what's going on? Along the lines of making a difference and whatever not, I feel an unpopular opinion that I have is that no, contrary to how people feel about social media, I actually think it's great. I really feel it really depends on you. I'm not sure how you feel, but I feel that social media is a great thing because you can pick and choose what you want to watch. Sure, there's a lot of trash and, a lot of unhealthy things out there, and a lot of bad stuff is going out there too.
Yeah.
But again, if you choose to pick on stuff, and there's some silly videos, which honestly I enjoy. The reason I even post or share some of these really stupid reels and, TikTok videos and stuff, because I'm like, it's funny. If it's going to make someone laugh, like, what the hell, whatever.
Exactly, yeah.
How do you feel about social media?
No, it's you. I think you hit it on the head. It's just, I think it's yours to control.
Yeah.
Meaning again, there's stuff on there I don't want to see.
Yeah.
I'll scroll through it.
Exactly.
I don't have to see it. It's like a conversation. I don't need to be in that conversation.
Yeah.
But there are things on there that I think are very, very useful, very important. I love. I'm a big proponent of 80s music. I think that's the safest music in the world.
Yeah.
And the songs meant something. Like if I see a song, I'll repost it. And,
Yeah.
Or I love also very uplifting videos.
Yes.
I will find videos on there that just make me feel good. And I'm saying, you know what, if someone hopefully sees this.
You never know.
Yeah.
You never know. Sometimes you watch something and you're like, you know what, I was having a bad day, but this just made me rethink.
Exactly.
That's just, or and I'm being honest, it's happened to me quite a few times where I'm like, I'm actually depressed.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting at home depressed and just scrolling on my phone. And suddenly I'll come across some video. It could be anything. And, and I'm like, wait a second. Yeah, what am I doing here? Why am I sitting here depressed? I have this to be grateful for or
Exactly,
whatever.
yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
What the hell? Let me get dressed and make a TikTok. Whatever helps me feel better.
Oh, yeah,
But all these things help. I just feel that a lot of people just want to see the negative, or people are just scared of the awareness that social media creates for people's rights. That's what I feel where I feel there's a pushback from the community or from our communities.
Sure. You know, it's really weird because it's like you need a class to understand social media. You know, it's like I think everybody needs to sit down and understand the value of some of the stuff that's put out there, because there are some really value add things that they put out there for your business. You know, or even watching how people market their brand, or what services they offer. Like I look at that because I also want to go to my doctors and say, look, this is a tool for you.
Yes.
If done the right way, you can really promote your services. You can really promote your practice.
Absolutely.
You know, one thing I always emphasize with them is that, look, when we're in traffic, if you look around, everybody's on their phones.
Yeah.
Imagine they're watching your service, or imagine they're watching your practice, or even seeing what it looks like inside your building.
Yeah.
That would make a difference. So, you know, like, those are the good parts of social media that I completely promote, and I'm all for it. You know, I you know, even when my doctors ask me, or my clients ask me, hey, do you have any? And I always try to put them in front of the right people so that they can go out there and talk more about, you know, what they do. And some of them are amazing. I mean,
and you can do it in a fun way too. It doesn't like, I'm going to be honest, I don't want to see, like, there are people who wake up every day, search for different quotations on Google, and there's every single day. It's like, I'm not going to school. This is not a school. This is not it. Don't know. Can you just be yourself? Just, you know, I mean,
I love making fun of myself. Like when I do, and then
But I must say here, I must give a shout out to your brother, and Cruize's brother. I'm sorry, his name is
Hamza.
Hamza, because it's a different handle that you have.
Yeah.
He has it by.
Yeah.
Because you tag him. That's I don't stalk you,
Yeah.
but he tags you. That's why it's something with M or something.
Yeah, Mo Gaj.
So there you go.
Yep.
So Hamza, good job.
Wow.
You really pull his leg really well, and I enjoy. I'm always laughing out loud.
Wow.
So yeah, just so you know, keep it going.
I do have a good few jabs at him. So
no, you do it better, Hamza.
Wow.
Your jabs are better.
There you go. There you go. All the years of bullying, and this is what I get. I'm stuck with him.
You are, but you know, talking about social media, we see a lot of pretense there, for, you know, with many things now. And I don't, not going into details, but you're a family man. And what do you think is, like, because this is a question that's usually asked to all the women out there. And women, of course, have all the answers. You know, we always have answers to everything.
Of course.
But I have not had a chance to ask a man, at least not on my podcast recently. What do you think is the secret to a lasting marriage? I'm not saying a happy, because I think, first of all, I don't know how you feel about it, but I think it's a lie, or it's this utopia people live in. Oh, happy marriages means no fights. No, there's no such thing. A happy marriage means you have issues, but you resolve them and you move on. That's my theory. But as a man, what do you think? Like, with these days, so much is there, we hear of so many divorces and so many, you know, then there's, regardless whether it's an extramarital affair or whatever it is, but you see every other couple getting divorced, you know.
Sure.
What do you think was the secret? Why were marriages lasting before and not lasting anymore? What's going on?
Wait, I not to like turn the page. It's funny, like we just had a big family reunion in England, and my whole family was there. It was great. We had a great time. It's the first time we saw each other after COVID and everything.
Oh, wow.
So Dad came in from Africa. My sister came in from Holland. We were all over the place.
Okay.
One thing I just remember sitting down and thinking, the measure of success of a man.
Yeah.
I think it's not money. I don't think it's fame. I don't think it's fortune. I don't think it's anything like that. I think it's when you sit down and look at your children, and you see that they're well settled, or they're well, you know, they're on a good path.
Yeah.
So to me, that's kind of a, I don't know if it makes sense.
Yes,
but
absolutely.
That is my measure.
Success, your achievement.
Yeah, that is my measure of that success.
Yeah.
When you sit down and you look and they're happy. And, you know, like, no matter what, the fights, the late hours at work, or, you know, should I do this? Should I do that? It all comes down to that moment when you're happy.
Yeah.
And you look over and you say, wow, everything's complete. It fits. So I think that's my way of saying I measure. I mean, I don't need a Ferrari. I don't need Rolexes. You know,
Oh, it's nice
no, don't
to
get me
have
wrong.
it.
It's nice to have it and everything like that. But ultimately, my measure of success is looking at my children.
No, absolutely. I
and,
agree.
And
I
then,
agree.
you know, saying to myself, wow, you know, you did it.
No, I totally agree with you on that because I feel the same way too. I feel if you look at your child or your children and you see that, as you said, they are on the right path, and they're a good human being,
Yeah.
that you know what, you did a good job at raising this one human being, one individual who's not going out there and spreading toxicity. You know,
Exactly, yeah.
that's at least how I, maybe because I've dealt with so many toxic people and I feel this way, but it's like this child of mine, okay, if I haven't done much right, at least I've done this part right, where I've raised my child, my daughter, to not be a toxic woman, and you know, I'm going to leave behind a good human being who is going to be human, going to be kind,
Yeah.
you know, going to be a nice person, and that's the best that I've given to back to this world. That's how I feel too.
And,
yeah.
and I like all the charity stuff I do, I incorporate them into it.
We're going to come to that.
Okay, great.
But coming back to what I just asked, and the reason we're going to come back to that, because I know you do a lot of charity work, so I
Yeah.
want to talk to you about that. But when I was asking about, so that's a success as a man, you feel, as a
I
father,
think
as a man,
as
that's
a
your.
family. I think everybody.
But what I'm asking about is, why do you think the marriages are not lasting these days?
So, I mean, I wouldn't be able to answer that. I mean, I've seen some of my clients, I've seen some of my friends go through ups and downs, upheavals. It's very hard, I think, with our culture,
Yeah.
you know, to kind of also stick to the traditional values when we're living in a progressive society.
Right.
One thing I knew growing up in Africa is we assimilated to the society. We assimilated to the languages. We assimilated to so it wasn't necessarily us like being isolated and saying we're Muslims. We're going to stay in this part of town and that's it.
Yeah.
You know, all of, but I think it's really hard to assimilate to a new world and still keep traditional values.
Yeah.
If you don't adapt or if you don't evolve with them, then it's really hard. And one of the things about adapting and evolving is also communication. I think that we really also have to sit down and have those tough conversations.
Do you think there's maybe a contradiction between progressive society, evolving, the cultures, traditions, all of that mixing up?
I think it's really hard. I think also for us, you know, for me it was very simple times. You know, we had theaters in Africa that were playing Desi movies.
Okay.
And we had everybody watching them.
Really?
You know, it was fun. Like everybody knew who Amitabh was. Like
of course.
Yeah, you know, like at school we would play Sholay and everybody would play.
Okay.
So it wasn't, you know, I never really felt it. And then like they're also the Hindu kids, the Muslim kids, we all played together.
Okay.
But I think when you get into a bigger city or a bigger world, it does, you know, there's lines drawn. There's just so many different positions that are being played, and it just works on people in a very tough way. And then, you know, you're trying to assimilate to the new world, the new. You know, your jobs are different. It's not the same as it was back home. And sometimes, you know, we don't necessarily stay with our families, meaning we grew up with our grandparents in our homes. We grew up, so, you know, there was a kind of a traditional cultural foundation there.
Yeah.
But again, you know, I don't see some of that evolving over here. I see some people still trying to bring the old values into a new world, and that's where it's so hard.
It's so hard.
And it strains on the relationship because, again, you know, like I know friends who just are strangled by the relationship because they can't be who they want to be.
Yeah.
You know, and for that reason, it becomes hard. It kind of it ends up becoming a kind of an isolated house, you know, one side here, one side there. And, you know,
That's interesting because the reason I ask, because a lot of people and, you know, specifically men do feel that, you know, maybe marriages are breaking up and people are getting divorced here, you know, left and right, just because women have this new sense of empowerment now and they're more educated, or maybe there's they would not like to use the word awareness, but I think there's more awareness of their rights.
Oh, no,
and
no.
they're exercising that.
I love that.
Yeah.
I completely love that. If anything, I'm a huge proponent
But
for
you
that.
don't think that that's the reason, or do you think that that's the reason? Maybe that's why there's more divorces.
Maybe case by case. They may be some situations where,
That is the reason,
someone wakes up and says, you know what, I don't need this.
Yeah.
I'm better than
And
this.
there are women who are saying that.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm better than this. And I know that there's people who are put into situations that were tough for them because of family pressure.
Yeah.
And it's hard because, we're good Desi kids at the end of the day. We don't want to let our parents down. We don't want to let our whole khandan.
True.
And it's not a khandan, it's like a society.
I still see so many women who you would be surprised that, you think that, you have a certain this idea in your mind that it's, women from this particular class or area or education, or they're like highly educated, independent, or empowered women who are still living in a marriage where it's abusive. It's it's derogatory, and but they continue to live because of society or culture, tradition, or whatever it is.
It's hard. I mean, it's an unspoken truth about us.
It is.
But but the more and more I talk to different people, it happens in a lot of cultures.
Yeah.
Like I have friends, Hispanic friends, African American, the same thing. I've got a Nigerian doctor, and he'd tell me his stories. I'm like, wow. We're very similar in our culture, in the background, and things like that. And it's hard because sometimes parents are doing it for your own good.
Yeah.
But it's just like
it's a tough one. No, it's complicated. Let's talk a little bit about these charities that you're involved with, and why are these causes so close to you?
Sure. I mean, one thing I've always told myself with my business strategy, I'll always incorporate charity.
Okay.
Like no matter what I do, I'll always make sure that there's room in there to
Does it come from like watching someone in your childhood helping out someone, or?
Yeah, I would say like my mother's a very charitable person.
Okay.
Growing up, she always would make a point of telling me about how to help people, or how to just be kind to people and things like that.
Yeah.
She's a sweetheart. My mother, if you meet her, she smells like cookies. She's just amazing like that. But she would always cook more, invite, our house was never empty. We always had people there. It was that kind of a house.
Yeah.
And then with me, I would specifically try to just help anybody that I could, and then slowly I would get really passionate about things that I love. I love children. I never want any harm to come to children.
Right.
So like what I do with the children in the hospital, that's more of just me saying, do not put a child in a position where they're stressed out, have anxiety, or just develop any kind of mental health issues at a young age because of something we did.
Yeah.
I never want that. And then obviously now with sex trafficking and human trafficking, it breaks my heart because I just don't like the abuse of children. Never have, never will. Because I was bullied. I know what it's like to be vulnerable and hate the position you're in, but be helpless about it.
Yeah.
So at that point, I'll do like one of the organizations I work with is the Off Ramp.
Okay.
They have a very good program where they help women who are saved from these sex traffickers.
Okay.
They put them in halfway homes. They help them with skills because it's just such a traumatic experience.
Yes.
And then I've done some work with different organizations, but again like being out there, people will call me and say, hey, can you help here? Can you help there? And I'm always up for it. So anything that can just make a difference in someone's day, or just make it easy for people. Life's hard as it is. You and I both know that.
Yeah.
So if we can make it somewhat easy, or just make that one day count, then it makes a huge difference.
No, I think you're doing a fantastic job, and once again, I repeat this for the viewers and the listeners, that the reason that Cruize is here is honestly because I feel that he is so inspiring. In ways more than one, whether it's his work, whether it's him dressing up in a costume or doing his charitable services and stuff. And I think that's just wonderful to have a meaningful life. I was, in fact, just before coming here, I had a meeting with someone, and as you know, and I was talking to them, and we were just having this conversation that how important it is for you to have a respectable name. You know, you can be famous, but to actually have a respectable name so that tomorrow, like, whether no one's going to talk about you for the rest of your life, you know.
Yeah.
But if your name is ever mentioned, it should be mentioned on a good note that, you know what, this person did, you know, he was a good person. You know, he or she was a good person. They did well, or they was a good person, whatever. Just want to make sure I cover all the genders here.
No, I know.
You know, these days you have to be very careful about it.
Yeah.
So tell me like a little, okay, I know it's a very serious conversation, and I know we're going to wrap it up real soon too. But it's been, can you imagine? We've just been like talking. There was no edits, no takes, guys, no takes.
No chai breaks, nothing.
No chai breaks. We've just been like nonstop talking. So much to talk about. Okay, besides all this other stuff, are you a fan of like Bollywood?
I am.
You are.
But I'm more of the old school Bollywood.
No, either way, it's Bollywood. That is the real Bollywood.
Yep,
that
yep,
is.
that to
So
me is-
when you say old school, that's Shah Rukh Khan, I'm thinking.
No, I go
Amitabh Bachchan.
I go Bachchan.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice.
That's my guy. At a young
What's your
age,
favorite Bachchan song?
A Bachchan favorite song was actually Ye Dosti.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Sholay. Because you've
Sholay.
mentioned Sholay, I think, twice or thrice already.
Yeah, that's my go-to. Actually, Sholay was a huge thing in my life. I love that movie.
Yeah.
Sholay. And then all of Amitabh's movies, Satte Pe Satta,
Oh my God, I
Naseeb,
love this. Yeah.
Sharabi.
Do you try dancing like him?
I did.
You
When I was
did.
young, I think I was very theatrical.
Let's see that move.
No.
Let's see the
I
move.
had the Amitabh
There you go.
hands up, and that was it. But my family was very, very movie theatrical and all that.
Okay.
So I was that 5-year-old that throw up in front of everybody and say, "Watch him dance."
Oh,
watch him you know those.
Beta
things.
dance karke dikhao, that one. Yeah.
So that was me. I cried when I first watched Sholay. I cried so much. I picked up a chair and I was gonna go hit my mom because I was so mad Amitabh died.
Wow.
Yeah, spoiler alert there,
Wow.
guys. Sorry. She always reminds me of that. She's
I
like,
think by now everyone knows he died.
sorry. Just in case you haven't seen it. But when I moved here, I was so shocked because a lot of African people know Sholay. When I moved here, a lot of Persian people know Sholay because it was a big movie.
They love Bollywood.
Yeah.
I mean, like Arabs or Africans or everyone,
Yeah.
you know.
So
I think, sorry, no offense, but except for white people, like everyone knows.
I know. And then I remember Silsila. That was like
Oh,
a shock. I was like, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah.
Amitabh's not hitting anybody. And then Kuli was also another big one for me.
Did you cry when you heard he got hurt
I did,
and all of that?
because they had I remember the movie, they had like a whole scene.
They have a scene in there where they stop and they tell you this is where he got hurt and whatever.
And I was like, oh my God, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And then for me, it's like, you know, I believe that you know, there's certain points in your life where things are destined.
Yeah.
And then when Slumdog Millionaire came out, I love that movie. And then Amitabh had to be in there.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just like, wow, you know, this is actually a very big thing.
Do you want to be Amitabh when you grow up?
I did so badly. I did. I used to do because even part of my when I was in boarding school, I did a lot of acting because that was part of me saying, look, I'm going to be confident. I've got to be bigger than who I am.
Okay.
And that's when, and I was actually so good. I was actually one of the people that came to see me in a play wanted to take me to the Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts in England.
Oh, okay.
And they had like everything, the papers. I showed my dad and everything, but my dad was very worried about it because Desi Kid in the 80s in England, it's not going to be a big thing.
Yeah.
So we shied away from it. But I would always say to my family, I could have been with Christian Bale. He would be in my class with Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
So I could have competed with the best, you know.
Oh well.
Yeah, I know. I missed my window. So
You did. It's like how I just like to say to my friends, like, oh, Karan Johar did approach me, but I wasn't ready at that
There you
time.
go.
It's just like, yeah, sure, okay.
No,
I wish, isn't it our dream, our lifelong dream that we get cast with all these and we work in Bollywood. Did you watch Rocky or Rani recently?
No. Everyone is telling me.
You have to watch
I
it.
know,
Oh my God.
everybody.
No,
See,
you
as
have
far,
to.
But as far as I get is Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum, and then that kind of like just stopped.
No, there was this really bad phase,
Yeah.
you know, for the past few years in
Yeah.
Bollywood, and there's nothing's like great. And then, for quite honestly, last year at least, I thought even Netflix stuff wasn't that great. I'm
Yeah.
like, what are they doing? They're just like churning out things just because they have to, right?
Exactly, yeah.
But with Rocky and Rani, you go back to the, you know, like the same, like Ae Dil Hai Mushkil or Jab Tak Hai Jaan, at least those
yeah.
were the last few favorites of mine, where you're like, okay, there is romance, there's the saris, and there's
Okay.
like, you know, and there's the it's a happy movie.
It's a Bollywood.
And it's a
Good.
total happy movie
Okay,
where
good.
you feel happy watching it. I've watched it twice already.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So no, but I feel, and I'm like, you know what? Actually, this is what Bollywood does to you. It makes you happy.
Yeah.
You literally forget everything else around you, and you're just immersed in the movie.
I mean, I love that you go through every emotion.
And that's what you do here.
Yeah.
You've got romance and your anger, and you know, there's so much, and yet it's progressive.
Yeah, good.
But it's not progressive in a very in your face kind of a thing. You know, it's teaching you things, but in such a subtle way where you're listening and you're like, yeah, that's, you know, it's like, I'm sure you've seen, I'm not giving any spoilers here,
No.
but just there's this one scene that's gone very viral about Ranveer Singh saying, नहीं दादी बोलती है चाय पियेंगे तो काले हो जाएंगे.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
which is not a good statement,
I know,
of
go
course.
away, yeah.
Yeah, but normal things like this, which are, I believe these are the nuances of the movie that in a very subtle way that they're teaching you, you know, it's very progressive. So you should watch it.
I will,
Yeah.
I will.
Look, I should be a spokesperson for
You should,
Bollywood
yeah.
movies.
Yeah.
I'm so passionate about it.
No.
So what's next in life? What are you up to? What are your new projects? What are you going to be doing?
No, I'm glad you asked that. I still, when COVID happened, a lot of the hospitals were very, they shut down to people coming in and visiting the kids. So we're working on different things to get back in there and see a lot of the
It's
children.
still like that, or
No, it's slowly opening up.
Okay.
But you know, they're going to be very. I guess they're going to monitor everything and just
Okay.
be careful about that. I miss doing that. I miss seeing some of the kids. But we'd send
Yeah.
videos. I'd get videos of, or parents requesting videos to just talk to their children. So I'll do that. I'm working on a few different projects as far as medical is related.
Okay.
So that's also coming up in this quarter. But other than that, you know, like I said, you know, I think I just want to focus on, you know, going through the motions of being healthy, trying to really show that this is a lifestyle that can be done. You can find time for it, and you can, you know, just spend more time on yourself. And then, you know, when you're good with yourself, you're good with everybody.
Yeah, true.
So
true.
as soon as that starts happening, then you know, I hope it just becomes more of a infectious thing that
Yeah.
you know, people around me see it. I mean, a lot of my friends also started picking up and working out more with me and things like that. So
Yeah.
I love that.
No,
and
I
then-
do see you, like, you know, you've made your own tribe.
Yeah,
You know, you
yeah.
keep on adding new people to your group, and of course we get to see them on Insta and whatever. But how is it working? You know, people, Desis complain about Desis. Desis complain about working with Desis. But I do see you working with a lot of Desis, and you seem pretty happy. How is your work experience?
you know, I guess I'm blessed because of my upbringing. You know, I'm lucky I grew up with all kinds of people.
Yeah.
I grew up with, you know, Africans, real, then the Gujarati Indians. You know, I grew up with so many different types of people. So I was very blessed to understand the culture, the caveats, you know, what to say, what not to say. And, you know, yeah, you're going to get bad business partners.
Of course.
It does happen. And, you know, with that, I've learned that, you know, you learn your lesson. And, you know, now you kind of have a sixth sense of who they are. And when you hear that certain kind of character come out in someone, you stay away from them.
Yeah.
I am trying to really work with some good people. Because, I mean, life's too short to be wasted on, you know, people who are just going to be bad or backstab you or, you know, just make your life harder. So
True.
we move away from them and we just stick to our circle. And again, I don't think I want to, you know, be a billionaire or have my name on a building or something. I just really want to be.
You don't want to be that?
No, I don't. I mean, I'm just glad Bismillah named a burger after me. So,
I know.
Yeah. So
that was pretty cool, though.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yes.
No, we came together with that. When was it?
The Gotham burger.
No, it's right? We did. There's a Cruize slider. If you look at the menu.
Oh wait, I didn't know that you're talking about. I thought we were talking about the Gotham burger.
No, so the Gotham burger we did to raise money for charity.
Okay.
That was really good. Again, thank you, Bismillah, for that. And then the Cruize sliders are on the menu.
Okay,
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we came together with that at a birthday party because we were trying to create a menu.
Okay.
As for kids.
Yeah.
The burgers were too big, so I said, okay, why don't we do this? We made sliders, and I put it all together, and Inam said, okay, I'm putting this on the menu.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice.
So, I don't need a building. I got a menu. I got a burger on the menu. I'm happy.
There you go.
Yeah.
For those who are watching us out of Houston, if you ever visit Houston, you gotta go to Bismillah.
You have to.
Yeah, you have to go to Bismillah.
Yep.
They are our family. They're really good people. Really good restaurant and food, of course. But people who serve with all the love.
Yeah.
In heart.
Yeah. And they're always glad you come. Seriously.
Yeah.
It's such
and I'm not saying that because this is like no paid promotions, by the way. I promise you. You don't see nothing at the bottom here, right? So it's not a paid promotion. Genuinely saying it from the heart. Yeah.
very good people.
I will send them a check later.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm gonna be one of those shady promoters. Just talk about someone, put their logo, and then send them an invoice for like 10 grand or something.
Guys. Yeah, pay up.
But anyways, hey, this was fun. I mean, I feel like we can keep on talking for another hour, but I think short and sweet is always a good thing. Unless there is something you would like our listeners to know, or people watching you, if there's something you want to say to them.
No, I think we covered a lot. We talked about just trying to be nice to everybody.
Yeah.
Help out. Everyone's going through some tough times. I think after COVID, a lot more people are suffering, and they don't show it, but they actually are. They're going through really difficult times. So anything you can do to make their lives easier, would really, really make a difference. And always protect our children. Anything that we can do to protect them, I'm all for it.
Absolutely. No, I agree. Children and pets.
Yeah.
These are like two of my weaknesses.
Pets?
And yeah.
Oh,
pets.
wow.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's like, I'm not a vegetarian, but that comes from my religion. No, but I just feel like when I watch those horrific videos, which I try not to, but sometimes when you're scrolling, you end up seeing where people are being mean to animals, to pets, to cats, and to dogs. And you see them suffer, and I literally have tears in my eyes, and I'm like, how could you be so evil to something that can't even speak,
Yeah.
And the other day I watched a video where someone had put a cat somewhere, and the poor cat, it fractured its leg.
Oh, God.
So then it couldn't walk properly, and thank God someone found it, and it was like, I just wanted to like scream and cry. It was so bad. I'm like, poor thing can't talk. What are you doing? Like, where do you find the heart to hurt something,
They don't have one at that point.
Like how, where? And it's genuinely, I feel like, it's a very philosophical thing that is said, but I feel that the shaitan, the evil, is really in you. There is no other evil out there. It's just really... sorry.
No.
I get carried away, but when I see I have a cat, and I can never even think of harming or hurting my cat or any animal for that matter, But it's just but I'm not a vegetarian.
I know.
Because I've heard someone's like, oh, but you eat meat, and how could you be like, yeah, but that's different. It's
just to say, I don't know the cow, or I never met the chicken.
Yeah.
There you go.
Right? The cow and the chicken are not my pets also.
So if you see me eating something else, then you just talk to me about that. Yeah,
That's true. No, Cruize, it was wonderful to have you. In I guess I just want y'all to know that I want to feature people who are young professionals, and progressive, and people who you can relate to, who you can learn from. I know I'm told that there are certain these are the kind of people we need to be our community leaders. I don't want to sit and interview, no offense to anyone, but I don't want to sit and interview an 80-year-old person who's maybe a self-proclaimed community leader or something, or a head of some board of directors or something, where he doesn't have anything to add to how we're living our life these days. I don't know. I just feel that way. And I feel people like you have a lot to add and a lot that others can learn and get inspired from. And I'm so glad that you took the time out today.
No, thank you. Thank you so, and again, thank you so much for what you're doing. It's sometimes it's so hard to get the word across, and also like on the right platform. Because I know there's noise. There's a lot of noise out there.
There is.
So when you do what you do, and you're very consistent and you're very courageous about it, and just your passion drives it. Everyone can see that. It's not like you can hide that. It makes it very easy for people to listen to you and to say, wow, like it's everything that you put effort in, it does show. So thank you for doing that.
Thank
too.
you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Cruize. Appreciate it.
No,
and on that note, guys, it's a sign off from me until the next episode. Goodbye. Don't forget to subscribe. Oh, can you tell people to subscribe? You need to subscribe too.
I will. Please subscribe, guys. Please. I'm terrible at subscribing.
I'm terrible too, and I have very sad subscribers. So I need to. They'll watch it, but they're not going to subscribe. It's like people following you on Insta, but they're not going to follow you. Yeah. Like watching your stories, but they're following. It's like, why?
Yeah, they say not everybody's your fan, right?
Right?
Yeah.
Like, why do I have like 10,000 people who just saw my story, but yet you're not even going to like it or follow it or whatever? So
I know.
Subscribe. Okay. But thank you guys. And until the next episode, this is Samia signing off. Bye-bye. Take care.
Guys, take care.